Hey everybody, Josh RV Nerd here at Payload RV of Coldwater, Michigan, and I don't care what kind of vehicle you got. There's a lot of different variables when it comes to towing. There's all these numbers on the truck and the trailer. There's UVW, CCC, GVWR, payload rating. What do all these things mean? It is overwhelming. If, you don't get a degree in towology, this is scary stuff. Like, if I get it wrong, I get hurt, right? Well, I want to zero in today and take some of the scary, spooky mystification out of one of these things. And I want to talk specifically a little bit about payload ratings today, because that is one that I see is misunderstood, I think, more than just about anything else. A lot of people generally understand tow rating. Payload, though, is something else. I want to take a little look at it with you here. And if you appreciate the fact that we're more than happy to take some time out of our day to put your safety before the sale, knowing that not everybody who sees this is buying from Payload RV, do us a quick favor. Hit that little subscribe button and follow along here, because we've always got not just RV reviews, but news and tips and safety advisory like this for you. So, real quick note, some housekeeping. If you're not familiar with it, towing versus payload. And I know a lot of people don't understand this, because they'll come in, they say, I got a half-ton truck, I want to tow a fifth wheel. And that's really what prompted this conversation. Payload rating really matters when you're getting into fifth wheel towing. It's always a factor in travel trailer towing, but it becomes a big factor very quickly in fifth wheel towing. And very commonly, someone says, hey, I've got that EcoBoost half ton, what can I tow? Well, what you can tow and what you can handle are two different things. So your tow rating is how much weight you can pull forward. Your payload rating is how much weight you can put down in the bed of that truck, if you want to think of it that way. It's how much weight you can put down onto the truck, how much stuff you can put in the truck before something like your axles or your brakes overload. And that is why airbags are not necessarily the all fix to this. Some people say, oh, it doesn't matter what your payload is, you just put airbags on it. Yeah, but that doesn't address your wheel bearings, your brakes, your drivetrain, your transmission. One of those things might not be rated for that extra weight. You have to pay attention to those kind of things. So now that we understand that, the magic question, how do we find our payload rating? And thankfully, it is much easier to find than tow ratings. I do not understand why you have to have the decoder ring out of a cereal box to find the tow rating in these tow guides and some of these things. I don't understand why when you open the door, there isn't just a sticker right here that says your tow rating is, your tow capacity is, because that exact sticker exists within this door jamb for your payload rating. Now, each manufacturer has a couple different stickers here on the beam inside the driver's door. That's where these are going to be located. And it can be a little difficult to find if you're not familiar with what you're looking for, but search around enough and you'll find it. Here in the case of this one, this is what we're looking for. It says the combined weight of occupants and cargo should never exceed 891 kilograms, or for us who are still not on the metric system, 1,966 pounds. That is your payload rating as scaled and guaranteed by the manufacturer of this vehicle. Now, a quick little note. That 1,966 pound payload rating, and payload ratings in general, typically assume the driver of this vehicle weighs 150 pounds. Now, I know that in my case, and I believe that for most of us Americans, that is a laughably conservative estimate. So, you can kind of use that as a barometer. You know that if you need to add or subtract, say like in my case, about 50 pounds to that, and I would have an idea. So, what does that mean? That means that the weight of the other people, their duffel bags, the hitch in the back of the truck, and the hitch weight of the fifth wheel or trailer cannot exceed a total of 1,966 pounds. Where it really matters is when we start getting into these things, because if you're not paying attention, the hitch weight of even a small half-ton towable fifth wheel will very quickly overload the payload ratings of especially half-tons, but a lot of vehicles if you're not paying attention. And a lot of it is because, like, you see this big belly bay here, there's multiple huge spots outside where you can load a lot of cargo. When you read the specs off a manufacturer's website or brochure or whatever, and it says hitch weight is X pounds. You know, we'll say hitch weight is 1,495 pounds. That is When this RV is completely empty, when there's nothing at all inside of it, no propane, no battery, no cargo, no water, obviously you're going to actually weigh more than that. Now, the only way to really know your effective loaded hitching weight is by loading the RV as you load it, because every person loads it different, loads different cargo, then going to a certified scale and having it scaled out. There's no other way to do it, because everybody loads different, everybody takes different stuff, and they put it in different spots. Even if you gave everybody the same cargo, it's gonna vary. So I really want folks to understand this. Now, it is, again, the most common time that this comes into play is when somebody wants to tow a fifth wheel with a half-ton pickup. That is something that there's a lot of marketing in this industry really designed to make you think you can do that, because you have a 13,000 pound tow rating. Well, you've got to have the payload rating to handle it, right? Not necessarily. Not every manufacturer bulks up their payload rating in parallel with their tow rating. It's an annoying thing. Now, as long as there's a horse trailer in the background, I should mention those things. There's a reason that you never see somebody with a small truck towing a gooseneck horse trailer. Because the axles are always in the back under the horse area, because that's where the live animals are, and they want the smoothest ride back there so you're not beating your horses up. The hitch rating on those things, it can get out of control very quickly. That's why you usually see big 1-tons and often dualies handling those suckers. Now, I've said a few times that your hitch rating really applies mostly to fifth wheel towing. It is not that it doesn't apply at all to travel trailer towing, though. Where it usually matters in the world of travel trailers is especially in SUV towing. And where it gets a little tricky is when you start using things like weight distributing load leveling systems, because they very much help you redistribute a lot of that tongue weight elsewhere in the rig. The weight doesn't magically go away. You still need to keep track of it and factor it. It's not all piled into one spot. It's not dead on the tail of your vehicle and dead on the tongue of the trailer anymore. It redistributes it to the front axles of the vehicle to a degree and the rear axle of the trailer to a degree, so that the whole rig levels and balances out. Now, I've covered a lot of things very briefly, very quickly. These are very big, very important, very sensitive towing topics. So if you need more assistance, please give our team here the opportunity to work with you. We obviously put safety before the sale. We went out of our way to put this together today. It's actually very cold. My hands are freezing, but I wanted to put this together. And if you appreciate that, in return for the fair opportunity to earn your business, we are always happy to run the numbers. And if it ain't right, we're going to tell you, because we are a standalone dealership. You know, we don't have hundreds of stores across the country. This is family owned and operated. I'm a son of the boss. It is my family's name on the back of every single sticker that leaves here, and I want to take pride in the work that we do. You give us that chance, and you see we usually get it done pretty well. So take care, stay safe, have fun, and happy haylet camping, everyone. See you soon.